everybody. I call this meeting to order at 7:34 p.m. Please be aware that this meeting may be filmed or audio recorded, and these records, including our meeting minutes, may be made available to the public. Will Senator Cumpstone please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senator Arora, please lead us in the Indigenous flag acknowledgement.
We acknowledge that the University of Florida is located on the ancestral and present homelands of the Ais, Appalachee, Calusa, Creek, Miccosukee, and Yamasee peoples, with our main campus located on the ancestral territory of the Patano and of the Seminole peoples. The Patano, of Timucua affiliation, lived here in the Alachua region until the destruction of their towns in the early 1700s. We pay our respects to these indigenous elders and descendants of the past and present, especially those who have called the University of Florida home within their lifetime. And now for a moment of silence.
Thank you. Please join me in a moment of silence. Will a member of the Rules and Ethics Committee please come out into that role?
Thank you everyone who told me that I was pronouncing your last names wrong. If I pronounce your name wrong, please come up to me. I want to make sure I get it right. Okay. Andrews. Here. Here. Alexander. Here. Armstrong. Armstrong. Avera. Avera. Bazin. Here. Barnett. Here. Barnes. Here. Blair. Here. Blake. Here. Birch. Here. Caparata. Here. Canella.
Here.
Here. Chata. Here. Chohan. Here. Clark. Here. Conger. Here. Casillas. Here. Cumpstone. Here. Dahan. Here. Deese. Here. Damani. Here. Disher. Here. Donovan. Here. Dotson. DeRoche. Here. Berber. Here. Selena. Here. Finfrock. Here. Buini. Here. Goyle. Hancock. Here. Bergman. On. Here. Bergman. Here. Fire. Here. Hughes. Here. Jacobson. Jones. Here. Jones. Here. Joshi. Here. Kajabi. Here. Kaiser. Kim. Here. Latour. Here. Lanier. Levy. Lewis. Here. Lou. Here. Lockwood. Here. Mahmoudi. Marin. Here. Martin. Here. Mayorga. Here. Nice. Here. Melamed. Here. Metchick is here. Meyerowitz. Here. Mirabal. Here. Morris. Here. Morris. Murphy. Here. O'Malley. Here. Toba. Here. Orsi. Here. Patel. Here. Perez. Here. Petros. Ramsey. Robinson. Here. Rowe. Here. Salas. Here. Zavalarios. Here. Rocca. Here. Shaw. Shempakar. Here. Simon. Here. Snyder. Here. Song. Smolensky. Here. Spalacy. Here. Spielvogel. Here. Stein. Talji? Here. Tibbles? Here. Urbans? Here. Wyman? Here. Yachik? Here. Zankowitz? Here. Zorodakis? Here. Rubaii?
Here.
There are 70, is there anyone named who I did not call? There are 79 senators present.
With 79 senators present, quorum has been established. We are now in line for public comment, starting off with Tyler Sklar. Your 5 minutes when you're ready.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so this is like an update on last week's situation. So basically what I discovered is that the reason why the Supreme Court probably didn't have access to the records is because the actual records don't actually show anything about the complaint or evidence that I just showcased last week. As you can see here in the minutes, they're just voting on a violation, but no one actually knows what they're voting on, nor why they're voting no on. There's no meaning there. The public doesn't have actual oversight over what they're voting on, which is a violation of student body law and precedents. So as you can see here, this is a complaint that should be on the website, and all the evidence that they have acknowledged, the legislature on record has acknowledged is evidence and the existence of such evidence. So I'll just go over the student body law. So 729.4, the Elections Commission shall keep a written record of all of its meetings and hearings, including evidence and testimony heard, the findings of the Elections Commission and the rulings made. And 729.5, all written records of meetings and hearings, including the findings of the Elections Commission and the rulings made, shall be uploaded to the student government website within 72 hours of the submission of such documents to the student government officer manager. And the next one just basically supports the maintenance of such records. So according to these rules, they weren't followed. Written records include the evidence such as the complaint that was submitted. And written records also include, as you can see, this is the precedent established from 2019 to 2025. See, this is all like signatures. This all counts as written records because there's a signature, so that counts as written. So that's weird. So yeah, I mean, so these rules were clearly made to comply with sunshine law and public records law, and these laws are usually interpreted in conjunction with each other since, state government is a state governmental agency. It has to comply with both. And here's what I got from sort of sunshine law. So according to the logic, anything that's posted on sunshine law as a minute that's posted to the website immediately becomes public record, according to a Florida Attorney General opinion from 1975. And according to court cases, I actually got a response from the SGO about these issues from an email on Friday, and they basically said the reason why they might not have been uploaded is because there's low capacity or website overhaul. But according to these court cases, those are not valid exemptions under Florida Sunshine Law. The only delay permitted by the Act is to limit reasonable time allowed by the custodian to retrieve the record and delete those portions of the record that custodian is certified exempt, such as like maybe the phone number or email address. That should probably take maybe I don't know, an hour if they're really busy, like 30 minutes, 10 seconds, because I don't see how this is not uploaded on the website. I don't see how my 92 pages of evidence is not uploaded on the website, which should be according to precedent and state law. So clearly, this needs to be properly solved immediately. So the Supreme Court, when they hear by refiling of the appeal, they can actually have access to the records, and the public can also have access to these records to ensure that this student government can actually be held accountable and that public oversight is ensured. Because the public has the right to have oversight over public bodies, including the Student Senate, and that includes the Elections Commission. So you have the right to actually see what they're voting on. Like essentially what is happening here is the equivalent of, in the minutes, the Senate Secretary of Society, instead of putting the actual Student Senate bill numbers, just say the Senate is voting on Student Senate bill, but you don't actually put what they're actually voting on, and the Student Senate bill is not available on the website. That's basically the equivalent here. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't see any valid reason for this to be happening. Like, all I have to say is, let justice be done, though the heavens fall. Thank you.
We are now in line for our next public comment with Kayla Arora.
Thank you.
5 minutes when you're ready.
Thank you.
Hey guys, so most of you probably remember me from my public comment last week, but today I'm here to talk about something different. There is currently a petition on campus with over 2,000 signatures, the vast majority of which are students, regarding immigration and immigration rights on campus. As of recent, a significant number of students have been deported, a significant number of UF students in particular have been deported, and this is a major issue that Student Senate should work to fix. Now, I understand there was a bill to my understanding, there was a bill a couple months ago that was proposed by Senator Andrew Larson to officially condemn UFPD's actions regarding ICE and ICE involvement on campus, such as their agreement to sign a 287G agreement, which basically gives UFPD vast and broad abilities and rights to do things regarding deporting students or getting students off campus and other things. But they're not required to sign that because they don't have a jail. So under state law, they are not required to sign that. Now that was a route that was proposed. The Judiciary Committee made it down. There are some other routes though that you guys go for, and I'm just here to suggest a couple things that you guys might want to look into. First things first could be student legal services. Currently, student legal services, which is funded by student government, specifically has a clause within the rules that it cannot take immigration cases. However, you guys fund that directly, so I would believe that would be within the Student Senate purview to amend that rule or fix that rule or change it otherwise to allow students to receive legal representation paid for and funded by student government. There are a lot of other routes you guys could take. For example, talking with UF administrators or pushing your student body presidents to talk with UF board of trustees regarding immigration issues, which I believe that would be a good route to take. There are a lot of other things you could do, but I'm just encouraging you guys basically please do more for immigrant students on campus. This issue is very important to me personally. My mom came here from Poland because of my grandma's medical issues, and my dad came here from India to Canada and moved to America for work reasons. So immigration is an issue that I hold very closely to my heart. So I encourage you guys to do something about this. Thank you so much.
Seeing as there are no more public comments, we are now in line for amendments to the minutes. Are there any amendments to the minutes? Seeing none, we're now in line for executive branch reports. Is there anyone here from the executive branch? We have GASP agency head Arshad Policy.
Hey guys. Hello. Good evening, Senator.
Good evening.
Okay, so thank you all for having me today. I'll be giving my agency head report. I was planning on coming in when the Take Back the Night bill was up to be voted on, but it's not on this week, but you know, sentiment still stands. But yeah, my name is Arshad Policy. I'm the GASP agency head for this year, and GASP's second year as an agency here at UF. If you don't know, GASP stands for Gender and Sexuality Protection Agency, and GASP's had honestly an amazing year, and I just want to kind of share that and talk about how much fun I've had with it and just what a success it's been. And I appreciate Senate's support with this. I'll get to it later, but Women's Caucus helped with putting the bill together, and everything has been great. So yeah. Anyway, so what is GASP? I've shown this exact slide before when I gave my report last semester, so not much new. But GASP schools are to protect and promote equality for all students here at UF, recognize the existence of gender and sexuality inequalities, and combat instances of inequality through UF-wide education programming. And we really expanded this year. Riley Talbot, the inaugural head, did an amazing job last year, but we've really just worked hard to get GASP's name out there like tenfold, do more programming, do more events, and really try to make events that highlight and give space to the students on campus that I wanted to give space to. My goal basically was I'm gay, I came to UF, and what org would I could I look to know where all the good spaces are, where all the queer spaces are on campus? And I wanted GASP to really do that, to really highlight that, and to connect the gap between students on campus who are just getting here and the communities that already represent them, and let them know that they have a space here for them. So I'm just going to run through some events we've done, just some good pictures. So this was Pride Plaza. We gave out matcha from Opus and had a bunch of resource fair and stuff. It was just a good time in Plaza last semester. Awesome banner. I'm sorry, I'm a trendsetter. Accent did a banner after us because this was so fire, so shout out me. Great Gatsby. This was an event we had concert and food and stuff in the ranks, and it was a whole bunch of fun. We started an ambassador program called Whispers, because Gasp is loud and Whispers are quiet, you get it. And then shout out UL, previous senator, he made a book club. And Yes, and then last semester, GASP loves me. I forgot to highlight, but we did another shirt release last semester. We made this shirt this semester. The shirts are fire. Everyone loves them, and it's really awesome to like get our name out there. When I walk around campus and I see people wearing a GASP shirt, it's like, damn, I made that. That's awesome. And I just feel like getting GASP's name out there has been like I said, it's been a big goal of mine for this year, and I've done a lot of success. Like people recognize the cats, people get the brand, people get the shirts. Our Instagram has like exploded compared to last year, so I've had a lot of fun with GASP, and I'm really excited to see where it keeps going. Sorry, I'm like sick, so that's why I'm like sniffling. Upcoming initiatives, so we have, shout out Tom Tabo, we have a panel coming up March 25th in Arora, a Women's History Month panel highlighting amazing professors, amazing local voices, amazing students on this campus. We're compiling, we're called it a zine, but violence prevention resources, get them all in one place, and then we're planning on distributing that with Arora next year, to putting in all the dorms, just have one like solidified place where students can know the violence prevention resources on campus. More ambassador meetings, potentially more merch if I get more money. Shout out Blake Cox, love you Blake Cox. GASP magazine, which is something a project we're working on. Lavender celebration with PSU and UFSG-LGBTQ alum, which was previously like a bigger thing, but it's a free event for all like queer graduates where we give out stoles, and it'll be held in Emerson Alumni Hall, I believe April 20th next month. We just posted about it. They are bringing that back with PSU and UFSG-LGBTQ alum, and then Take Back the Night, which is the reason I'm here. So this is just a little screenshot of the bill that Women's Caucus made. But if you read through it, I mean, it is an amazing bill. It just talks about the reality of violence prevention, sexual violence on this campus, and the importance of standing by our students. And as a student government, really demonstrating to our students how much we care and the commitment we have to combating sexual violence and violence prevention on campus. So we're bringing it back April 9th. It's going to be a collaboration between Gatorwell and all of you student government, which is a difference from last year. A few years ago, in like 2019, 2020, right before COVID, like at the peak of the Me Too movement, Take Back the Night was huge on campus. It was pioneered by Gatorwell through Strive. It got media attention. It just was a much bigger event than it was last year. Not to say anything about Riley. Riley did a great job, but I'm really focusing on building up the event because I feel like if it's a small event, if you don't show care and attention to it, then we don't show care and attention to the sexual violence survivors on this campus, and we don't show support to our community as a student government that we actually care about these people, that we have a commitment to these people. So that was my goal in reaching through all of student government. We found a lot of success. We have a lot of support. We're gonna have like 1 million people tabling, and it's gonna be awesome. The event will consist of a march to call back to the origins of Take Back the Night as a rally. It'll have community resources, both youth departmental resources, student resources, and like non-campus resources. Free food, and Gatorwell wants to order like 400 shirts, so I hope that they'll be fired. And then shout out Women's Caucus for the awesome bill. Please vote yes on that when it comes out, and if you don't, you hate me, and also women, and also gay people. So, but yeah, that's basically it. I don't have that much more to add, but GASP is just like, it has been the most fulfilling thing I've done at student government. No shade on Senate or anything else, but to come into it and like really pioneer and build it into something more, and to see the success it's gone, to have like students come to me at every event and be like to really love GASP, to love the merch, to like want more from it. It's just given me it's just made me really happy and showed me like how much student government can do. And I encourage you all to like, not only, of course, you do great stuff in Senate, but to go out there and to just like make more tangible impact in the students' lives day to day. Like that's agency or even non-student government, any sort of orgs, but like the point of student government is like making community for our students on this campus. And so just little ways you can do that day to day and impact individual people, I think that's the whole point. But and shout out GASP Instagram blown up, plus blown up. Shout out my PR team, shout out Alexa Dizer, shout out Eva Brownick, shout out my whole GASP exec. Alex Dale and Yoel just left Senate, but they were just in here. Y'all know how awesome they are. And that's it. Follow GASP UF and love y'all. Bye.
Thank you. Are there any more executive branch reports? Student Body President-elect Bravo.
Well, just jumping off the back of what Arshawn said, also not sick. agency head apps are now open, so please consider applying. Same with executive secretaries. Like he said, it's a real way to make tangible impact on campus. So please consider applying, and I don't want to speak anymore.
All right, we're now live for judicial branch reports. Is there anyone here from the judicial branch? Seeing none, now live for goodbye speeches. Any time for goodbye? I don't believe so. We are now in line for amendments to the agenda. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Yes, majority party leader Finron.
I move to approve Xavier Hansen for talk about agency head by unanimous consent.
There's a motion to approve Xavier Hansen for talk about agency head by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Follow up.
Follow up.
I move to approve Brooke Tuttle for the open off-campus permanency by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion made to approve Brooke Tuttle for the open off-campus permanency by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Follow up.
Follow up.
I move to approve Rylan Mitchell for the open off-campus permanency by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion made to approve Rylan Mitchell for the open off-campus permanency by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Follow up.
Follow up.
I move to approve Gavin Rankin for the open Key Springs permanency by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion made to approve Gavin Ranson for the open Key Springs permanent seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Follow up.
Follow up.
I move to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent. Do I hear any objections? Hearing none, the agenda has been adopted. All right, we are now in line for executive branch nominations. There are none. We are now in line for judicial branch nominations. There are none. We are now in line for legislative branch nominations, starting off with Judiciary Committee Chair nomination, Abigail Melamed. You have 3 minutes whenever you're ready. 3 minutes.
Hey guys, my name is Abigail. I'm running to be the Judiciary Committee Chair. So a little bit about me, I'm political science and criminology double major, and I'm getting a certificate in artificial intelligence. I'm a second year, and I'm from Parkland, Florida. So here's some of my experiences. The most notable is that I was the Judiciary Committee Chair this past semester, elected in fall of 25. It was one of the most amazing experiences. And I learned so much from the role. I just don't think that I'm done yet. I think that there's a lot more that I can improve. There's a lot more that I can do within the role and continue improving internal processes. So that's mostly why I'm running again. I'm a Carolina counselor. I was an intern at the State Attorney's Office here in Gainesville, and then just some of my experiences. So then here are my accomplishments from my last term. So I hosted the first Judiciary Committee office hours where I invited students to come to the Judiciary Committee before we had our meeting and talk to really any members on the committee, including me, where we can talk about legislation, ideas, walk through how to write it one-on-one. It was really successful and something that I'm looking to continuing to do in this upcoming term. I also started a clerk interest form where we had senators sign up to clerk for the Judiciary Committee if they were interested, and we had a lot of members that are now on the Judiciary Committee actually clerk earlier in the year. It got them interested in what the committee's about, so that's something that I want to continue doing. I updated the legislation workshop on the Senate website. Before I did that, the legislation workshop was from, I think, 2022, so it was really out of date, so I was able to make a new one, update it on the website. And then since the start of my term, even before my term, I've made, I think, over 30 rules and procedures changes in the past year. So if you guys have any questions about the rules and procedures, I got you. So then here are my ideas. So I want to continue the Judiciary Committee office hours and the clerk board because they were so successful, just continuing to hone in on these processes. And then I want to work with committee chairs to standardize the codes and rules and procedures as it pertains to their committee. This is really important because, we want everything that we do in practice to show up with what we do in the codes and vice versa. So that's something that I would work with committee chairs on. And then also give multiple legislation presentations. I know that I have to, by the codes, give the legislation workshop within the first few weeks of the Senate term, but not everyone's ready to write legislation by then. So I would kind of give it frequently so that people throughout the term are able to remember legislation, and I think I'm out of time. I'm like,
Got 10 seconds.
anywho, these are my expectations. You can read them.
Thank you. We're now in line for 3 minutes of questions and answers. We have majority party leader Finfrock.
Thanks for the presentation, Abigail. So as you previously stated, you served as the Judiciary Chairwoman last term. What would you say you're most proud of from things you accomplished last term?
Yeah, thank you. So I think that multiple things I could say the Judiciary Committee office hours or the clerk interest form are two things that I'm really proud to have initiated. But besides for that, I think just like working with my vice chair and the committee members to start doing those rules and procedures changes. I really set our sights on standardizing the code of rules and procedures, and creating that kind of a committee to do so was really helpful, and something that they're still working on now, and so that's something I'm really proud of.
All right, are there any more questions? Senator Kajabi.
Hey Abigail, I was just wondering where you could find the clerk interest form.
Yeah, so I send out the clerk interest form in emails every single week. So when I send out the legislation for the week, also the link under it is the clerk interest form. So all of the emails that let you guys know about our time, place, location of the meetings also has the clerk interest form.
Amazing, thank you.
Are there any more questions? Senator Conger.
Are there any additional information you can provide about your goals for the rules and procedure overhaul for standardization? Thank you.
Yeah, so I would say that's something that is a case-by-case basis. I basically want to make sure that something that needs to be in the codes and rules and procedures is there, and anything that doesn't need to be there can be in the rules and procedures, but not necessarily. I want to make sure that what is in the codes and in the rules and procedures matches. So whether that's time limits or membership requirements, everything should be the same. And we've gotten into a pattern in the past few years of making rules and procedures changes, but not updating the 300 codes. So they kind of say different things, which is what I've set my sights on particularly, just making sure that they're standardized.
Are there any more questions? Senator Simon.
So I noticed in your really long list of previous experience, there was a point about a research paper on implicit bias. I was just curious. I was wondering if you could talk more about that and tell us more about what that.
Yeah, so I have a published research paper in implicit bias where I worked with criminal defense attorneys to really just investigate implicit bias. And I think that it taught me a lot that there's no really possible way to fully minimize implicit bias, but you can do what you can and apply a lot of strategies to minimize implicit bias in decision making. And it's really important as committee chair to remain neutral. No matter whose bill it is, what the content of the bill is, I'm here to be a neutral body that facilitates debate. I'm not someone that participates.
Unfortunately, that is time. Thank you so much. We are now in line for 3 rounds of alternating con pro with 3 minutes per round per side. Do I hear anyone who wishes to speak in con? Do I hear anyone to speak in pro? Seeing as we've gone a full round with no one wishing to speak, we move directly into a vote. All those in favor of approving Senator Melamed for Judiciary Committee Chair seat, please rise. You can sit down. All those opposed? Seeing as that is a clear and convincing majority, congratulations to Judiciary Committee Chair Melamed. All right, we are now in line for the Budget Appropriations Committee Chair nomination. Senator Cumpstone, you have 3 minutes whenever you're ready.
Hey guys, for those of you I have not met, my name is Phoenix, and I am nominated to serve as your next Budget and Appropriations Chair. So a little bit about me. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm a third year studying economics and political science. Two fun facts about me. I've been to 27 national parks. My family loves hiking, and I have 2 Labrador retrievers. So some of my experience that is applicable for this role is obviously I'm an economics major. I had an internship in finance this past summer at Morgan Stanley, so I have a lot of knowledge on accounting and Excel and some things that would be applicable to serve on the budget committee. Some of my involvement at UF is I'm currently serving as the finance committee chair for the Rights Union Board of Managers. Through this role, I've gone to see a very hands-on approach to the Rights Union budget, including the roughly $6 million of activity and service fee money that this Senate body allocates them every year. I've been able to work closely with the finance staff and kind of go over, we've done a lot of projects on the committee, all related to the budget of the rights, which is an entity that this Senate chamber funds. Some of my past involvements also include serving as vice chair of the Judiciary Committee, this past term as vice chair of operations for Gators Going Green, vice chair analysis for, okay, you guys disagree on that. Anyways. Some of my ideas for the committee. So I want to expand outreach to student organizations to ensure they are aware of base funding timelines and requirements. So I've been in the Senate for a year now, and throughout this time, I cannot tell you how many students and student organizations have come up to me and asked me about how to get funding for their student organization, about what they have to do, when they have to do it. So there is always a gap of people who are just not knowledgeable about kind of how to get funding or when to get funding, and that's something I want to work on as a Senate, as a committee. I think if student organizations want funding, we need to make sure that they know how to do it. I want to work with the Information and Communications Committee to create a series highlighting the Big 4 hearings in the summer. I think it's incredibly important that students, especially senators, are educated on kind of how the process works. I want to expand the committee's focus on revising the 800 codes. Again, I've talked to student organization leaders, to senators, to just students who, there are some confusing aspects of the codes, and I think there's room to make some clarification so that no one's getting confused. And lastly, I want to encourage senators interested in the committee to clerk budget meetings. This is something that the Judiciary Committee did this past term, and it's incredibly successful. It's a great way to learn about the committee, to get, to learn how things work and to show that you're interested. And yeah, that's all from me.
Thank you. We're now in line for 3 minutes of question and answer period. Anyone have a question? Senator Selena. Sorry. Senator. Oh, any senator. Senator Kajabi.
I really like your last idea about clerking the budget meetings. How do you plan on getting people to do that?
I just hope to reach out to everyone in the Senate, obviously to say in the committee reports that when we're having our meeting, that we're open to people clerking. Obviously, just going up to people and being, hey, have you thought about clerking? I feel like there's interest, and hopefully I'll also work to facilitate that interest. But yeah, I'm hopefully just talk to people and hopefully encourage them to clerk.
Perfect, thank you.
Senator Latour.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. I'm curious about which outreach ideas do you have also?
Yeah, so I want to work with the Information Communications Committee to highlight a lot on the Instagram. I think that is a platform that is pretty outward focusing, and students have the ability to see pretty easily. I also want to table as a budget committee around base funding, around when the timelines are. So just there's I think a lot of different paths to do outreach. But yeah, Instagram, social media, the website, tabling, pretty much those would be my ideas for how to just increase awareness for student organizations.
Thank you.
Senator Martin.
Thank you for the presentation. I know previously the budget committee has had a large emphasis on staying work-friendly, especially during budget allocation. How do you plan to continue that?
Yeah, so there are a lot of plans in the works for a really cool budget week that is going to be the week after we get back from spring break because base funding opens on the 23rd. So I'm working, hopefully I will work with the student body treasurer to plan events for student organizations to come in, where we're going to help them through the whole process of all of the different aspects that they have to complete to get funding. So a lot of cool events. There'll be food every single day. So hopefully we'll have a lot of interest in that and get outreach as well through those events. Yeah.
Senator Melamed, or Judiciary Chair Melamed.
So I just want to know, out of curiosity, how has your time in the Judiciary Committee really prepared you for this role?
Yeah, so the Judiciary Committee is an awesome place. I learned a lot on the committee, especially serving as vice chair. I feel that from that role I have a very good understanding of how to run a committee, how committee meetings should operate, kind of all the wonderful things that come along with that. So yeah, it's about.
I believe that is time. Thank you so much. We are now in line for 3 rounds of alternating con pro debate, 3 minutes per side per round. Do I hear anyone wishing to speak in con? Hearing none, anyone to speak in pro? Seeing as there is no one to speak on either side, we move directly into a vote. All those in favor of approving the budget chair Cumpstone, please rise. You may be seated. All those opposed? Seeing as that is a clear and convincing majority, congratulations, Budget Chair Cumpstone. We are now in line for the Rules and Ethics Committee Chair nominee, Vice Chair Metchick. You have 3 minutes whenever you're ready.
Good evening, Senators.
Good evening.
My name is Metchick, for those of you who have not met me, and I'm running to be the chair of the Rules and Ethics Committee. So just a little bit about me. I'm from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. I'm currently a junior studying criminology on the pre-law track. And just like a little fun fact, I actually volunteered with Sea Turtles as a student after graduating high school. And just some relevant experience that I think applies to this role. So I've served on the Rules and Ethics Committee for a year now, from May 2025, and I was vice chair to 2 former chairs. I've also served on as member at large of the Student Senate. That means serving on the Prison and Agenda Committee along with other administrative roles. I'm a member of Women's Caucus, and I do research for the Bruckner Center for Freedom of Information, just promoting freedom of information law and sunshine law. All right, just a little bit about some things that I would like to implement if I'm going to be approved as chair. Shout out Women's Caucus for the picture. But I want to do semester presentations. This is something that we loosely implemented in my time on committee, but I just want to make it more consistent and structured. But organizing presentations to sort of just go over some things that we see are wrong. I'm going to go into some more details on these on the next slide. But I also want to have more internal delegation within the committee. I see that a lot of times some of the committee members aren't as active in their roles, so I just want to find a way to boost more engagement between the committee and the chamber. And I also shout out Judiciary Chair Melamed. I think this is a great idea, and I wanted to implement it into the Rules and Ethics Committee as well. Rotating clerk form is a great way to kind of bolster engagement. So just a little bit more detail on why I want to implement these policies. So a lot of times in committee, when we're reviewing constituency and absence submissions, there tends to be a couple things that are consistently wrong with submissions and reasons that we have to reject the submission or not approve it. So I just want to do presentations to kind of promote some transparency and some things that we're seeing wrong. That way we don't have to fail on anyone's submission for an absence or constituency, just kind of promote that education. That also allows the committee members to serve as representatives. There's not a lot of engagement between the committee members and the chamber, so that'll give them an opportunity to play more of an active role. With that being said, there's some internal changes that I want to implement. So I really want to connect the chair, the committee members, and the Senate There's two kind of sides to this that I want to implement. So I want to delegate more responsibilities to committee members. That's organizing constituency opportunities, managing the constituency calendar, working on some potential code revisions. I also want to do the rotating clerk form, as I talked about, just to get more senators engaged with the committee and see what we're all about.
That is time. Thank you so much. Time for 3 minutes of question and answer, starting now. Information Communications Vice Chairwoman Patel.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit more about how you're going to delegate things within your committee?
Not much more to add on this, but yeah, so there's a couple of roles that I feel like the committee can absorb. So just delegating specifically, like if we're doing the semesterly presentations, having certain committee members in charge of monitoring what is consistently wrong and arranging those presentations, going through the codes and showing senators why we have to rule the way that we rule in those presentations. Also having certain delegates manage the constituency calendar. So a couple delegates on the student government and student government funded events, just making sure, because there is a lot to track, so delegating out those responsibilities and making sure there's more organization within the committee. That's just something that I feel like could always be improved on, is some more organization. And yeah, thank you.
Senator Conger.
Can you clarify more about your goal for constituency? How does that align with President Rubai's goals for, I guess, volunteering? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So something that I would love to implement is working with different organizations to promote volunteer events and give people the opportunity to have constituency opportunities, because a lot of members of the Senate have 2 volunteer hours that counts towards their constituency. And really bolstering that engagement with the community. I mean, at the end of the day, we are representatives of the university and the greater Gainesville community, so just encouraging that connection, I think, is really important. Thank you.
Are there any more questions? Seeing none, we're now on the thing. We're now in line for 3 rounds of alternating con-pro debate with 3 minutes per round per side. Is there anyone wishing to speak in con? Hearing none, is there anyone wishing to speak in pro? Seeing none, we will move directly into a vote. May all those in favor of approving Zoe Metchick for the Rules Ethics Committee Chair position, please rise. Thank you. You may be seated. All those opposed? Seeing as that is a clear and convincing majority, congratulations. Rules Ethics Committee Chair. We are now in line for the Information and Communications Committee nomination of Senator Patel.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Selena. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a finance major on the pre-law track, and I'm the current honors village senator. I'm also a freshman, and I'm in the honors program. Just some other involvements that I'm a part of. I'm part of FLP and FLEC, shout out, I know you're all out there. In Katie, I'm director of administration, and then I'm also a Florida Cicerone. Just some past experience. I was an intern last summer with Blakely Ventures, which is the parent company of Spanx and Sneaks, if you know what that is. So I interned directly under Sarah Blakely. I was a PR intern, so I worked a lot with the Instagram and kind of figuring out what the target audience for that products were and how to reach that target audience. And then 2 summers ago, I was an events coordinator intern, so working a lot with coordinating with sponsors and a lot with Canva. So if you need any help with Canva ever, reach out. On INC, I created with Kate this amazing brand kit, which has just made the Instagram look so much more cohesive and just really pleasing to the eye. I did a couple of codes and RMP changes that relate to INC, and then I rebranded New Senator Orientation, so hopefully you guys all liked that, New Senators. And then some things that I plan to do. I really want to bring back Why Senate Wednesday and Sunday Senate Spotlight. I think last semester these got a little bit lost. I made this awesome new logo, super excited to use it. And I just really want to focus on spotlighting what is currently happening in the chamber, so also doing that through committee spotlights. I think committee meetings can sometimes be a little bit elusive maybe, so kind of just making sure everyone knows what's happening and appreciates the work that is done in the committee meetings. Merch is coming. I've been reaching out to vendors and talking with Jerome, and we want to make a storefront. It's super exciting. I'm really excited to get started on that. And then mentor-mentee. I think Kate did a really good job last semester of kind of fleshing that out, but making it a little bit more cemented this year and a little bit earlier definitely. Could definitely improve it. And then having some more mixers and events so you can get to know your mentor or mentee a little bit better. And then new center orientation, I think is really great, but it's really just the INC committee kind of throwing a lot of information at new senators, so making it a little bit more interactive, adding some videos maybe, just to make it not an info dump or a lecture on the new senators. Yeah, I think that's it.
We're now in line for 3 minutes of question and answer. Do I hear any questions? Senator Latorre.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I'm curious, do you have any goal with regards to followers or events that you want to throw out? How many are you planning to do or something like that?
Yeah, so Senate retreats have been super fun this past year, a lot relating to the holidays. I definitely want to do more Senate meetings, like maybe St. Patrick's Day meeting or something like that. Senate retreats, I definitely want to make them a little bit maybe out of the Senate chamber, because I know we've had a lot in the Senate chamber, so maybe I'll take any recommendations that you guys might have, but I know we were talking about doing maybe a basketball game or something like that, so planning events kind of outside the Senate chamber, I think I'm definitely going to work on. Thank you.
Senator Lewis.
What metrics or indicators would you use to determine if the messaging is like consistent and successful?
On the Instagram?
Yeah.
I think just making sure that going back to the brand kit, the fonts and colors are kind of outlined by UF of the ones that we can use. So kind of just sticking to that. And then in terms of content, I really just want to make it really transparent between the student body. I really want to build engagement on the Instagram. And that's really going to be helpful if you all interact with the Instagram. So yeah.
Senator Alexander.
A lot of time students kind of feel disconnected from student government. Do you have any like measurable things that you want to implement to reach the larger student body rather than just student government?
Yeah, so like I said about the Instagram, I think social media is going to be a great way to have outreach, and then like I said, all of your networks are going to be INC's networks, so really just reposting, liking, commenting, showing everyone what we're doing in the chamber. I think Senate Spotlight, we're going to start doing reels. Committee Spotlights are also going to be reels, so people can actually will be more engaged with what they're seeing and not just kind of reading a long description. And then also tabling, maybe we'll have some new trifolds and things like that just to get people asking more questions.
Rules and Ethics Chair.
Hi, Selena. Thank you for your presentation. When you're talking about revamping the new senator orientation, you mentioned maybe including a video of some sort. Can you elaborate on that? I think that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I definitely think even collaborating with the different committee chairs to make videos about their committees could be super cool. I know as INC, as I was doing senator orientation, I don't know too much about the other committees, so really just making sure that we know everything that's happening inside and out, and so we can be more informative to other senators. And then interactive, maybe we'll have a Kahoot or something at the end to test knowledge. Thank you.
Senator Kajabi.
Sorry for asking you another question. You've
No,
been bombarded
great.
today,
Other
but
questions.
how do you plan on like selecting the senators for like Senate spot? Like, is it like, going to be like nomination or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely think nominations would be great. We've had a nomination form in the past and no one really filled it out, so if you guys nominate people, that would definitely be awesome.
That
But
is time.
okay.
Thank you so much. All right. And on this book, everyone wait until I finish saying the motion, pretty please. That'd be great. Okay. So we are now in line to approve The Information Communications Committee Chair nomination, Vice Chairman Patel by may all those in favor of the approval please rise. Thank you. You may be seated. All those opposed? Seeing as that is a clear and convincing majority, congratulations, Chair Patel. Seeing as there are no more legislative branch nominations, we are now in line for bills under first reading. There are none. We are now in line for bills under second reading. There are none. We are now in line for vetoes. There are none. We are now in line for absences. There are none. We are now in line for my report. All right, everybody. It's been a really nice first week. To all of you in my office hours, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been awesome getting to know everyone and see what initiatives you want to work on. I will say that this is perhaps the best attendance we've ever had in a new senator orientation, so please give it up for all the new senators that came. I'm hoping to keep that ball rolling. Pro Tempore Murphy sent out a form over the listserv earlier. It is the Senate affiliation form. This form is super necessary for y'all to complete. It basically has all of the contact information we need and to update the Senate website. So right now there are 32 responses. Everyone has to respond to this as soon as possible. If you don't respond by the next meeting, then it becomes a problem and it's possible expulsion from the Senate. So please make sure you get that done. It doesn't take too long. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you. We're now in line for the Replacement Agenda Committee report with Member-at-Large Light.
Good evening, Senators. Like I said, my name is Taylor. I'm one of the members-at-large. For the seats that are open, we have a couple seats. The off-campus permanent seat, there are 2 available, and then the grant permanent seat, there is just 1. And then for committee seats, the Judiciary Committee has 5 open, the Budget Committee has 3, Rules and Ethics Committee has 4, and the Information and Communications Committee has 3. Applications will be due at 12 o'clock on March 20th. That's 12 o'clock p.m. so noon, and that's the Friday of spring break. So make sure you get your application in before that. And then RNA will be meeting either the Sunday or the Monday after spring break to ensure that we do more. Thank you.
We are now in line for the Judiciary Committee report with Chair Melamed.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for voting to approve me if you did. Please apply to the Judiciary Committee. We actually cannot meet until we have new members. We only have, including me, 4 people on the committee. If you didn't know, quorum is 5. So please apply. We need people so that we can meet and then we can pass your bills. So fun. If you want to talk to me about flying, any ideas you have, I'm more than willing to talk to you guys about it, talk through it. I know it can be scary, but send me an email, a text, like whatever. I'll stay behind in a few minutes too. Okay, and then voter record. Indicate how you voted for the chairs. And then everything else should be yes because it was by unanimous consent. And that is it from me. Thanks, guys.
We are now in line for the Budget Appropriations Committee report with Chair Cumpstone.
Hi everyone. First off, thank you for approving my nomination. I'm truly honored. That being said, there are 3 open seats on the Budget Committee, so please apply. Also, some important dates when we're back from spring break. Base funding opens on DocuTrack on March 23rd at 9 a.m. The deadline to designate delegates to SG Finance is March 25th at 4 p.m. And event operation and travel requests open Wednesday, April 1st. So if you are in a student organization or you know people in student organizations, let them know that that is coming up because it's very important. And yeah, that's all for me. Thank you guys.
We are now in line for the Rules and Ethics Committee report with Chair Metchick.
Hi everyone. Thank you guys for voting to approve me. I'm so excited for this turn. With that being said, please apply to committee. See some of you guys on the committee. I think that you guys could add a lot to what we have to work on. If you're interested and want to learn more, or just want to bounce ideas
Chair Patel.
Okay, first of all, thank you guys for voting me. I really appreciate it. I said I wanted to be mentor mentee soon. I meant right now. So if you want to be a mentor, scan that QR code. If you want to be a mentee, scan that QR code. I really want to get this started. I'm going to send out slides on Thursday so you guys can make those over spring break. And then we'll get right into coffee chats. I'll talk a little bit more about the process for this when you guys get the form and I make the group chats. YC Wednesday will be getting posted tomorrow, and it will be featuring Chairwoman Melamed. So everyone, like, comment, repost, do all the things. See my email regarding signing up for tabling tomorrow. Shifts are 4:30 to 5:30, 5:30 to 6:30, 6:30 to 7:30. It might have been wrong when I first sent it, but it's right now. So definitely sign up. We need people for every shift, so please sign up. And then apply to INC. We have 3 seats available. It's super fun. We do a lot of fun PR stuff, so definitely apply. Thank you guys.
All right, we are now in line for ad hoc committee reports. There are none. We are now in line for announcements. Are there any general announcements at this time? Senator Ferber.
Hi, Vice Chair Lockwood and I are inviting any senator who's interested to join the engineering caucus. Just to give you an update, yesterday we met with ECE, electrical computer engineering faculty, and individuals in the Department of Experiential Learning about the Arora initiative. If you're not engineering, there still may be a reason for you to join us because we discussed possible extensions of this initiative to other colleges, like goggle exchanges, if you're at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, anything else you'd like to bring to the table, we'd love to see you join our caucus. We're going to be meeting after spring break to codify our leadership makeup. So yeah, reach out to Hannah or I, and we'd love to see you in the caucus.
As a lot of you guys know, there's a mental health ad hoc last semester. Unfortunately, no one's going to start it up back again, so I really want to keep the momentum going this semester. So I wanted to organize a mental health caucus, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to execute the things that the mental health ad hoc had planned, and we're going to just work on improving student well-being on campus. So if you're interested in that, just talk to me after this meeting, or text me or call me or anything. So yeah, thanks so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Leslie. We haven't met yet. I'm one of the co-chairs this term for Women's Caucus. I actually have a QR code, so if you'd like to join Women's Caucus, please just come and scan it right after the meeting. Like Arshawn said today, the agency for GASP, we are partnering with them, and we're looking to have a tabling event with them for the Sexual Violence Awareness Month and the bill that we have coming soon. We do have 2 bills on the way, so please just come and support.
Senator Caparata.
Good evening, Senators.
Good evening.
I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's going on with graduate caucus. We had our executive elections last meeting that we had, and I wanted to announce that Neil Chauhan has been voted in as, along with Ali Mahmoudi as vice chair and Noah Disher as our secretary. So please reach out to them if you have any questions. It was great serving as the previous chair for grad caucus, and thank you guys for all the support.
All right. I just was handed a sheet of paper with, I believe, a majority of signatures from Vision Party, which results in a new deputy majority party leader. Would Senator Logan Alexander please stand up? Everybody give a round of applause. Are there any other general announcements at this time? Seeing none, I adjourn this meeting at 8:34 p.m.